Ladies, gals night out, chasing guys, eating pie, having fun.
This table is sticky. Run the damn rag across it. Would it kill you to clean a little? What kind of place is this?
Two Broke Girls was unapologetically bold. Its dirty jokes and quirky characters kept viewers hooked. But as ratings dropped and critics slammed its reliance on stereotypes, the show's future dimmed.
Thank you, Max. I've got the chills now. Do you guys serve tea?
Fans thought it could bounce back. After all, it still had a loyal audience. But CBS had a secret problem. It didn't make money from the show's success. In a shocking move, they axed it after 6 seasons. What really happened behind the scenes might surprise you even more.
As soon as the ladies calm down. Are you kidding? Show him what he's missing, let him pop, playa.
Two Broke Girls was the creation of Michael Patrick King and Whitney Cummings. King, famed for Sex and the City, joined forces with Cummings, a rising comedian known for her sharp wit and stand-up routines. Together, they crafted a sitcom that mixed modern struggles with edgy, often crude humor. The concept of two waitresses, one rich and one poor, was rooted in real-life observations. Both creators wanted to highlight the financial struggles faced by many young adults, especially during the post-recession era of the 2000s and 2010s. The theme of paycheck-to-paycheck survival resonated deeply, giving the show its relatable charm. CBS quickly saw the potential. In 2011, the network picked up Two Broke Girls, betting on King's proven success and Cummings' biting humor. The network was confident the show would attract a wide audience. From the outset, King and Cummings wanted to push boundaries. Their goal was to create a sitcom with bold, irreverent humor.
Waitress. Dude.
Hi, what can I get you?
We need some.
At the same time, they sought to tackle real issues like economic struggles and social class divides. The show was set in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, a neighborhood known for its hipster vibe. Its fast-paced dialogue and snarky tone captured the spirit of a younger, edgier audience. The humor was sharp, filled with sarcasm and punchy one-liners.
And she does not like the feel of a condom!
I know you're upset. I was baiting.
I love my job.
The heart of Two Broke Girls was the unlikely friendship between Max and Caroline. Max, a tough, street-smart woman from a poor background, was the opposite of Caroline, a former heiress whose father's imprisonment for financial crimes left her broke. The two characters came together as waitresses in a dingy diner. Their shared dream of starting a cupcake business became the driving force of the series. The show thrived on the dynamic between two opposites. Max and Caroline's contrasting personalities were the heart of its appeal. It also tackled the realities of being broke in a bustling city, striking a chord with viewers everywhere. The humor stood out for its sharp edge. Blunt jokes, bold innuendos, and sarcastic comebacks made it different from the usual sitcom fare. This mix of financial struggles, friendship, and biting humor became the show's trademark. Kat Dennings, known for Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and Thor, brought Max Black to life. Max was snarky, grounded, and unapologetically real. Dennings's deadpan humor and perfect comedic timing turned Max into a fan favorite. Max embodied the voice of the working class. She was street-smart, tough, and deeply aware of the grind needed to survive. Dennings captured both Max's cynicism and her hidden vulnerability, making her character relatable and layered. Max's loyalty and protective nature balanced her sarcasm. She wasn't just hardened by life, she cared fiercely, especially for Caroline. This duality, blending toughness with heart, made her a standout sitcom character of her time. On the flip side, Beth Bears played Caroline Channing. She was the upbeat, optimistic foil to Max's cynical realism. Once a wealthy socialite, Caroline had to rebuild her life from scratch. Bears, relatively unknown before this role, won over the creators with her vibrant energy and sharp comedic timing. Caroline's journey was one of transformation. She went from a clueless heiress to someone navigating the gritty realities of Brooklyn life. Her struggles to adapt gave the show a humorous, fish-out-of-water dynamic. Caroline's optimism stood in stark contrast to Max's cynicism. Though naive at first, she worked hard to rebuild her life. Her growth highlighted the clash between her pampered past and her new reality. This balance between lighthearted determination and harsh truths became central to the show's charm. The supporting cast played a huge role in shaping the show's humor and diversity. The Williamsburg Diner, where Max and Caroline worked, was the hub of much of the series' comedy. Its quirky characters added layers to the show's chaotic energy. Han Lee, the diner's owner, was brought to life by Matthew Moy. Han was often the target of jokes, with his exaggerated accent and awkward demeanor used as comedic fodder. Despite this, his character reflected the immigrant experience of running a small business in America. Jonathan Kite portrayed Oleg, the diner's flirtatious Ukrainian cook. Oleg's crude humor was a staple of the show, with his inappropriate comments pushing the boundaries of sitcom comedy. Jennifer Coolidge stole scenes as Sophie Kaczynski, the over-the-top Polish neighbor. Sophie's eccentric personality and outrageous antics added a layer of absurdity to the show. Her on-again, off-again romance with Oleg became a recurring subplot that fans loved. Earl, the diner's elderly cashier, was played by Garrett Morris. Earl brought wisdom and dry humor to the ensemble. His close bond with Max provided some of the show's most heartwarming moments. Together, this eclectic group created a vibrant comedic world. The Williamsburg Diner was more than just a setting. It was the heartbeat of the show, bringing the main characters and supporting cast together in a hilarious mix of personalities. When Two Broke Girls premiered in 2011, it became an instant success for CBS. Over 19 million viewers tuned in for the pilot episode, setting a strong foundation for the show's first season. It consistently drew high ratings, quickly becoming one of CBS's standout sitcoms. Audiences loved the dynamic between Max and Caroline. The show's bold, in-your-face humor was a refreshing change. For CBS, it fit perfectly, alongside hit comedies like How I Met Your Mother and The Big Bang Theory. The blend of classic sitcom structure and edgy themes attracted a younger audience. Critics had mixed opinions about the show. Some criticized its reliance on stereotypes and crude jokes. However, viewers embraced it. Many praised the chemistry between Kat Dennings and Beth Bears, which anchored the series. Fans appreciated its humorous take on financial struggles, a topic rarely explored in sitcoms. Over time, the show gained a cult following. Fans loved Max's biting sarcasm and Caroline's bubbly optimism. The show's themes of survival and resilience struck a chord with viewers. Its depiction of scraping by in a big city felt relatable to many young adults. The show also addressed real-world challenges like starting a small business, paying rent, and navigating life during tough economic times. These struggles were woven into the humor, grounding the show in reality while keeping it entertaining. Despite its polarizing humor, Two Broke Girls earned multiple nominations and even won some awards. It received 3 Primetime Emmy nominations, winning 1 for Outstanding Art Direction. It was also recognized at the People's Choice Awards and the Critics' Choice Television Awards, proving its appeal went beyond critics' reviews. From the start, the show was known for its edgy humor. It didn't shy away from pushing boundaries with risque jokes and innuendos. Max's sharp wit and Oleg's bold humor were standout elements of the show. Some fans admired its daring approach to comedy, while others felt it crossed the line. Oleg's flirtatious antics, for instance, were a recurring feature. These often led to jokes that critics argued were crude or offensive. Max, too, had her share of controversial humor. Many of her jokes revolved around blunt references to sex and financial struggles. These quips pushed boundaries for a primetime sitcom. This edgy style made Two Broke Girls distinct, but also polarizing. It was both a draw for fans and a source of criticism. The show faced significant backlash for its reliance on racial and ethnic stereotypes. Han Lee, the Korean-American diner owner, was often presented as a caricature. His speech and behavior were exaggerated, drawing criticism for reinforcing negative Asian stereotypes. Oleg, the Ukrainian cook, was another example. His character leaned heavily on the foreigner stereotype, which upset some viewers. These portrayals often made the characters feel like punchlines, rather than nuanced individuals. Advocacy groups and fans alike voiced concerns about these depictions. This reliance on stereotypes became a persistent issue as the series progressed. Many felt the humor was outdated and offensive. While some praised the show's boldness, others viewed it as lazy writing. They argued it leaned too much on shock value and controversial jokes, instead of creating meaningful or innovative content. Critics remained divided throughout the show's run. Some applauded its fearless approach to humor. Others saw it as crossing into tasteless territory, especially with its use of stereotypes for comedic effect. Despite the mixed reactions, this unapologetic style became one of the show's defining traits. As time passed, criticism of the show grew louder. Many felt the humor was outdated and lacked sensitivity. Viewers argued that the jokes were regressive and often offensive. Despite the uproar, the creators stood by their vision. Michael Patrick King defended the tone, claiming the humor wasn't meant to harm. He argued the jokes were playful and exaggerated. But as discussions about representation in media evolved, the show's approach became harder to defend. Two Broke Girls debuted in 2011 with significant buzz. Its mix of bold humor and relatable characters drew millions of viewers. The first season was a major hit. However, the show's popularity waned as time went on. By the later seasons, the decline in viewers was hard to ignore. In its debut season, the show averaged over 12 million viewers. But by the sixth season finale, that number had dropped to 4.5 million. This sharp fall of nearly 2 million viewers raised concerns at CBS. It became clear the show was struggling to hold its audience. A closer look at the early seasons versus the later ones shows why. In the beginning, Max and Caroline's chemistry felt fresh and engaging. The plots were dynamic and entertaining. But as the series continued, it leaned on repetitive jokes and tired tropes. Episodes felt formulaic, losing the originality that initially made the show shine. Even loyal fans began to notice the shift. What had once been sharp and witty now felt stale and predictable. Storylines seemed to recycle ideas rather than explore new territory. This lack of evolution in the show's humor and plots further drove away viewers. As the series continued, fans and critics began noticing a troubling pattern. Episodes started feeling repetitive, recycling jokes and familiar themes. Many plots revolved around the same tired narrative: Max and Caroline's cupcake business struggles. Few fresh developments kept the story moving forward, making it hard for audiences to stay engaged. Critics pointed out the lack of innovation. The humor often relied on overused tropes and rehashed gags. This was a sharp contrast to the show's promising start. For many longtime viewers, the writing lost its spark. What was once fresh and funny turned into predictable punchlines, leaving audiences feeling disconnected. The decline of Two Broke Girls also mirrored changes in the television landscape. Streaming platforms like Netflix and Hulu were rising in popularity. They transformed how audiences consumed content. Traditional network sitcoms, once the cornerstone of primetime TV, now faced stiff competition. Shows on streaming services offered diverse stories, complex characters, and higher production quality. Audiences began craving something new and bold. Sitcoms like Two Broke Girls struggled to meet these evolving expectations. The show failed to adapt to these shifts, leaving it vulnerable in a saturated market. Viewers drifted toward streaming platforms for fresh, engaging content, and the series began losing its once loyal fan base. By 2017, CBS shocked fans with the announcement of the show's cancellation. While surprising to many, the decision wasn't entirely unexpected. Behind the scenes, there were growing issues that contributed to its downfall. These challenges, coupled with declining relevance in a changing entertainment industry, ultimately led to the end of Two Broke Girls. When Two Broke Girls first aired, reactions were mixed. Some critics praised the chemistry between the lead characters, while others criticized the humor for being cheap and predictable. As the series progressed, scrutiny grew. The show became infamous for problematic jokes and racial stereotypes, overshadowing its initial charm. By the sixth season, ratings had dropped sharply. The premiere drew over 6.3 million viewers, but by the finale, only 4.5 million tuned in. Such a steep decline spelled trouble, especially with rising competition from other network comedies. A drop this significant often signals the end for any series. One major issue was the portrayal of certain characters, particularly Han Lee. Played by Matthew Moy, Han was frequently reduced to an exaggerated stereotype. Many criticized the show for perpetuating outdated and offensive caricatures. Discussions about representation in modern television became louder, with Two Broke Girls at the center of controversy. Cast members defended the humor, claiming it was meant to be lighthearted. Still, many viewers felt the show failed to rise above its insensitive roots. The crude, raunchy humor also alienated audiences. Critics often called it the filthiest show on network television. This reputation didn't sit well with family-oriented viewers. The series was packed with explicit jokes and innuendos, prompting numerous complaints to the FCC. For many, the humor felt out of place during prime time, driving viewers away. As the sixth season ended, the future of Two Broke Girls was uncertain. Despite its declining viewership, the show seemed aligned with other CBS comedies that were being renewed. However, the situation behind the scenes was more complex. Warner Brothers Television produced the series, but CBS did not own a stake in it. This lack of ownership meant CBS couldn't benefit from syndication profits, unlike other network-produced shows. Initially, Two Broke Girls was profitable for Warner Brothers, but as viewership fell and negotiations with CBS stalled, its fate hung in the balance. As CBS reviewed its lineup, Two Broke Girls faced tough scrutiny. Declining ratings and financial concerns weighed heavily on the decision to renew. In the end, CBS chose to cancel the show, citing the need for fresh programming. The news shocked the cast, especially Kat Dennings and Beth Bears. Both expressed disappointment, wishing for a proper send-off. Dennings hoped for a special episode to tie up loose ends and give fans closure. Instead, the cancellation left many storylines unresolved, frustrating loyal viewers. Despite its end, Two Broke Girls remains beloved by fans. The show, though divisive, has achieved cult status. People still quote its sharp one-liners and cherish the dynamic between Max and Caroline. The chemistry between Dennings and Bears made the duo unforgettable. Even today, fan art, social media tributes, and themed merchandise keep the spirit of the show alive. Two Broke Girls resonated with viewers by exploring relatable struggles. It humorously tackled themes like friendship, financial hardship, and chasing dreams. Though often criticized for crude jokes and stereotypes, the series sparked conversations about societal norms and women's empowerment. Its portrayal of entrepreneurial grit, wrapped in humor, struck a chord with many. At its core, the show celebrated resilience and the power of friendship. These timeless themes continue to inspire fans. While its abrupt ending disappointed some, the legacy of Two Broke Girls endures. For those who loved it, the show will always hold a special place, remembered for its wit, heart, and laughter. After Two Broke Girls ended, its main cast embarked on new journeys, showcasing their versatility and talent in different arenas. Kat Dennings, who brought Max Black's sarcastic humor to life, continued her successful acting career. She appeared in the critically acclaimed WandaVision, reprising her role as Darcy Lewis from the Thor films. Dennings also ventured into voice acting and other television projects, solidifying her place as a dynamic performer. Her sharp wit and comedic timing, honed during her time on Two Broke Girls, made her a standout in every project she tackled. Beth Bears, who played the optimistic Caroline Channing, found a new home on CBS in the sitcom The Neighborhood. Her portrayal of Gemma Johnson brought a refreshing energy to the show, earning her praise for her comedic chops. Beyond acting, Bears took on the role of an author, penning a book aimed at inspiring young women to embrace their dreams and ambitions. Her transition from a comedic role to being a voice for empowerment highlighted her multifaceted talent and drive. Jennifer Coolidge, known for her unforgettable role as Sophie Kaczynski, experienced a major career resurgence. Her performance in The White Lotus earned her critical acclaim and several prestigious awards, including an Emmy. Coolidge's return to the spotlight proved her versatility as an actress, transitioning from broad comedy to nuanced, dramatic roles. She became an icon for a new generation, with her Two Broke Girls stint serving as a cherished part of her expansive career. Matthew Moy, who portrayed Han Lee, took his talents into the world of animation. He transitioned seamlessly into voice acting, lending his voice to characters in popular animated series. His distinct style and range brought new life to his career, demonstrating his ability to adapt and thrive in diverse roles. While Two Broke Girls faced criticism and challenges during its six-season run, its legacy continues to thrive. The show's portrayal of friendship, determination, and the realities of financial hardship left a lasting impression on viewers. Its humor, while divisive, carved a niche for itself in the sitcom landscape, earning a dedicated fan base. Even years after its conclusion, Two Broke Girls remains a nostalgic favorite. Its memorable characters, witty one-liners, and relatable struggles keep it relevant in pop culture. Fans often revisit the show, finding comfort in its portrayal of perseverance and camaraderie. For its cast, Two Broke Girls was more than just a stepping stone. It was a platform that showcased their talent and set the stage for their future successes. Together, the actors and the series itself have left an indelible mark, ensuring that the spirit of Two Broke Girls endures.